I wanted to share with you the story of a woman named Lisa Calvledge. Lisa Calvledge was born in a German city called Nuremberg, and she came to the United States after the Second World War as a GI bride. And before she was allowed to go to the States, she was asked many questions. She was asked, what did your parents do during the horrible years of the Nazi reign? What did your mother do, your father do? And she said, I don't know, I was just a kid. Why do you ask me all these questions? And the consular officials from the United States said, you have to learn about responsibility, about a citizen's responsibility. And she said, how can you hold a whole nation responsible? She didn't really get this concept of mass guilt. And she wrote a letter which was turned into a Pete Seeger song the day that she was first arrested protesting outside of a napalm factory in California. And she said that she had gone to that napalm factory because she had learned something about mass guilt, and she had already been accused of it once. And given what was going on in Vietnam at the time, she did not want to be accused of it again. And also because she wanted her children to be able to have an answer to the question, what were your parents doing when? And that's a lot of what today is about. We are going today in the spirit of the Nuremberg principles, which say if you know that a crime is taking place and the local authorities have done nothing to stop that crime, it's your responsibility as a citizen to uphold the law, and the law that says wars of aggression are wrong. Crimes against humanity are wrong. It's our responsibility to interfere with that process. Otherwise, we are no better than the good Germans who did nothing during the Second World War.
The Nuremberg Principles. Principle 1. Any person who commits an act which constitutes a crime under international law is responsible, therefore, and liable to punishment. Principle 2. The fact that internal law does not impose a penalty for an act which constitutes a crime under international law does not relieve the person who committed the act from responsibility under international law. Principle 3. The fact that a person who committed an act which constitutes a crime under international law acted as head of state or responsible government official does not relieve him from responsibility under international law. Principle 4. The fact that a person acted pursuant to order of his government or of a superior does not relieve him from responsibility under international law, provided a moral choice was in fact possible to him. Principle 5. Any person charged with a crime under international law has the right to a fair trial on the facts and law. Principle 6. The crimes hereinafter set out are punishable as crimes under international law. A. Crimes against peace. 1. Planning, preparation, initiation, or waging of a war of aggression, or a war in violation of international treaties, agreements, or assurances. 2. Participation in a common plan or conspiracy for the accomplishment of any of the acts mentioned under 1. B. War crimes. Violations of the laws or customs of war, which include, but are not limited to, murder, ill treatment or deportation of slave labor, or for any other purpose of the civilian population of or in occupied territory, murder or ill treatment of prisoners of war or persons on the seas, killing of hostages, plunder of public or private property, wanton destruction of cities, towns, or villages, or devastation not justified by military necessity. C. Crimes against humanity. Murder, extermination, enslavement, deportation, and other inhumane acts done against any civilian population, or persecutions on political, racial, or religious grounds, when such acts are done or such persecutions are carried on in execution of or in connection with any crime against peace or any war crime. Principle 7. Complicity in the commission of a crime against peace, a war crime, or a crime against humanity, as set forth in Principle 6, is a crime under international law.